we need the volume a bit lower. So that way I can, like, do things. Okay, welcome back to another episode of making the video game storyboard thing. So, off stream, I started on the next part of this quest. So basically, the quest up to this point was people are going missing. And so you find the spooky light, but this is now the light that's not spooky because they replaced the bulb. It used to be a green bulb and there is a mysterious figure. And if you brought a guy over here, he would chase after it, thinking that it was his son. Also, for some reason, my scene change is gone. And I think that's... where is it? This should be here, so that I can, like, click down here. Like, why is this not here? Like, hello? I think it's because I made the mistake of, like, reorganizing this node. Yeah, okay, so now I can't leave this area. Why can I not leave this area? Oh, I can. Hang on, what? Why can't I click this? Why is this disabled? Because, like, I can go through here. Oh, I see what it is. It's because this here... Okay. Mouse. Ignore. It's very convenient that, like, they automatically make it so that these empty controls that do nothing automatically block all mouse input to things underneath them. And so I always have to remember to put this every time I have, like, a layout thing. And also, I didn't stream yesterday, and I think I'm probably gonna I'm probably gonna have to stream less often. Just because I do think... Like, even today, I was putting off streaming because I just really didn't want to stream. But okay, anything new with your investigation? Only new questions. This cave wasn't here before. What created it? Why was that creature luring people away? Where did it take them? How could it mimic people? Why is it so different from other specters? So you can see, basically, this sort of just lays out the entire, like, second part of the quest, answering these questions. Because we found the creature, we killed it, we went into a cave that's in this area, which eventually I need to, like, put in here. But do you want any more help with the investigation? Stop playing detective. People are missing. The best you can do is stop bothering me. Oh yeah, I don't have any other options here, but I led you to that creature, didn't I? He shakes his head, hands raised. Just let me do my job. So, I think I'm considering multiple possibilities here. One is that now we introduce another character, because I was talking about that before, like, someone who is within these peacekeepers, this police force, who actually wants your assistance and, like, acknowledges that you have, just by merit of not being a peacekeeper, but for some reason being able to talk to people very well, gives you, like, makes you valuable in some way, at least as, like, an informant or something. So that could be good. You know what, let's start with the north clearing. Alright. I'm gonna move stuff around. Also, I don't need my controller here. Why did I plug this in, even? I guess just because I wanted to run around a bit in 3D while I was thinking. I should probably also, like, allot time, like, once a week to, like, rerun the 3D game and fix any, like, breaking issues between it and the 2D game. But okay. So, the clearing. Let's do this, reset this. Okay. The main thing that's of interest is we have the cave now that I need to, like, figure out how to, like, provide space to. So there's basically going to be, I think, there needs to be multiple... How do I actually want this cave to be? I guess, like, this is fine, where it's, like, it's meant to feel... Well, it's meant to be hidden until you, like, until something pushes this rock aside. There should be a rock, like, here. But I'm going to make that, like, a thing that's, movable or whatever. Or, you know, a separate entity, so that way it can, like, disappear. Is there a wall here? Also, I have to, like, constantly clear my throat and cough. I've talked about it before, but the fact that I eat right before I stream is really inconvenient for me. Yeah, I just don't have any other time to do anything, because I stream basically right after I get off work, and then it's 9:30 p.m. or 10 p.m. when I'm done streaming after that. It is one of those things where it's just kind of like the tribulations of doing anything while also having a full-time job. Does any of this... This isn't anything. It doesn't need to be any of this, but okay. Also, I realized that this is actually the south side of the city, so I need to, like, rename everything. Basically, I keep forgetting that, I forget what I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting what direction north and south are, because I completely fucked up the map. Because it used to be that the map was, that this was north, as you might imagine, or that this, you know, there's some relationship between the upper side and north, but it's actually, this is north. Because this is west and to east, because I want the sun to set and crawl over this tower. But I also want this at the top of the map, because that's just what looks good. You know, because if I flip this around, then it's like, I don't know, what would that even look like? I don't want to look at it. But it would basically mean this mountain is obscuring like half the map. Unless I did a completely different projection, and then it's no fun. But okay, enough of that. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to rename those like north and south clearings already. So this has to be, let's call this N north for now, because this is going to be south 2, south north. Okay. Alright, hang on. Rename this to like South 2 or something like that, or South 1. Let's call it that. And then that means this is North 1. Okay, and do we have any other north and south in here? Do we just have these? Oh yeah, because I haven't even done this yet. Okay. So now the main thing, change this to be, where is south, huh? Did I? Oh, I never... Okay. Now we have it. So this is Crab Hill South Clearing. Okay, South Clearing. Fit width. Aspect centered. And we'll have, where's my swapper? I need to always remember to put a class name. "2D Scenes Crab Hill." Oh wait, no. But I have to do this anyway, because I need this to be here, like that. Well... yeah, I'll do this. Basically, this is like, when... or like, night light 2. And that's gonna be night light stage 2. And then we can have like a PNG of a rock or something. Make it like this. Beautiful. Okay, there we are. Rock, PNG. 2D, let's do, like, decor. Actually, this rock needs to be replaced, earlier than this. So this needs to be, Nightlight Chase, I think. Let's call it that. So this needs to be when we have found the creature. It needs to have moved the thing there. Okay. Where is that? Sadak. So, sun. Jace is after him, so that means that we need... so, Sadak / saw green light. Um, let's just do state add stat nightlight chase. And basically what this will be is texture. So if there is no chase, we just put a rock here. Where is our rock? Okay, fit width, keep aspect centered. Okay, so this will be like ignore or like hidden, and then hang on, how do I make it so that like I can just like parent this thing and it'll work? Because basically all I want is for the rock to be moved over the it's kind of stupid. Because now the rocks have little, like, things here. But eventually it's going to actually make sense. But okay. And then what we'd have is a scene change. And this goes into the cave. So, like, South Cave. Let's call it that. And this will be like revealed. And so now, so if we have Nightlight Chase revealed, if we don't, hidden. And I would need to, I don't really need to test it again. I'm just going to add the stat here. Oh wait, I also have to go to the overview. South 2 now needs this south clearing, as you might imagine. Okay. And then what I can do is state add stat light chase. It almost worked. Oh, I betcha the button. Yes. Now it works. Okay, now I'll also need to make sure that, like, this doesn't accidentally, do this, so we can do, like, an ignore. Okay. And then we can come into the cave. So let's start with that. So this cave I don't know exactly what's going to be in this cave, but it should be spooky and scary. So I don't know exactly what it's going to be like. And we also need, I think, what did we have? We had like a box and we had like a light or something. So I'm going to do that. Something like this. And then there'll be like a deeper chasm that the player can go into, and I don't know. I'll have to figure out like what I want to do for the actual like exploring the cave and figuring out like, is there more in this cave? What was the point of this place? Why was a creature taking people to here, or luring people here? Okay, well, that's good enough. Call this South Cave. Because, yeah, and then I think what I'm going to do is Sadak should actually be in the cave, probably. Or somebody should be in here. Maybe Sadak is back at the main offices. I don't know exactly. But okay. We now have the clearing. Let's just call it Cave 1. Scene... No. Texture. Oh yeah, I should probably also put a scene change here where, like, actually, I have a good idea. There we go. Back to city. And this one... What am I looking for? Anchor offsets. Back to the overview of the city. So this is like exit. And then here we have a similar thing. Scene change. So do I need this to be a child of this? I can just have this like this, and then like, boom. Whoop. Scenes, there we go. So this is South Clearing, which is not among our... Oh, it's Crab Hill South Clearing. Okay. I should probably have been more consistent with my naming. But oh well. And eventually we'll have like a go deeper into the cave thing. But I'm also gonna have like, yeah, NPCs will be important here. And then figuring out like how we investigate, why we investigate, and what we discover. Okay, Crab Hill South Cave 1. Okay, and I also... There's an important NPC that I need to have here, or at least a couple NPCs, to tell you a bit more about, like, where to look for this street corner. So I think I'm going to add an NPC in here. Note, night light when journal task is active. Night light. Okay, so this is going to be I don't know. Untrusting citizen. Because I was basically thinking I needed two things. One was something to guide the player to know to be out at night looking for lights at about 2 a.m. because that's when this light turns on, and that's when they can see that it's green. Because I think it'd be cool for the player to stumble upon it just organically, but it would also be like useful from a game perspective if there's a way to actually figure it out without just having to go through every area of the game at every time of day. So basically, get this guy in here. So like, what do you know about the disappearances? Oh yeah, also, have I correctly, like, made some people call the Peacekeepers the Berets? Also, what is all this stuff? Nomenon. Okay, Nightlight, City Shop. No, he doesn't do that. A lot of people... So, bet the... So I don't know who's been disappearing, but I would bet the Berets aren't investigating. And let's actually have an extra thing here. Okay, so what do you know about the disappearances? Let's say, like, questions, mention, answer, go to questions. So, what do you know about the disappearances? I think this guy, you have to already know some information before he'll tell you anything. And so that should be, let's do that actually. So I'm going to say for now, like, not mentioned answer. Nothing, I suppose. I don't know anything either. And this guy, it'll note that he, like, the UI will tell you that he's hiding something, basically. That's what this back false means, because it will not mark this block as completed until I say so. And that'll come from whatever it comes from. Also, we don't actually need that there. And then we'll have otherwise. That is it. Well, actually, no, I have a much better idea. This is going to be NL questions. So what do you know? It's actually going to not be like this. It'll ask you to use all of your notes. So like mention Q night lights. And I don't know anything either. Or then that's all I have to say. Okay. So this will also be basically just a more complicated thing where you have to use a note and then it prompts you to use another note with this question. So like let's go through our suspects. So the city shop. What do we have here? Oh yeah, I was thinking of, because I've decided arbitrarily that the main, like, music will be cello duets. So I'm looking for good cello duets, but it turns out, I think it's just, I've listened to all of the hits of classical music that it gets really annoying to hear the same things again and again. Like, even, like, Canon in D is, like, I am kind of getting sick of hearing it. But I would like to basically just have some, like, well-known classical music to, like, to make it clear that it's basically people performing existing works. But I might have to dig deeper and, like, I don't know, look at opera or something and, like, rearrange an existing piece. But okay. So, let's just put down all of the possibilities. Actually, I want this. Basically, in the order that I'm seeing them. Oh, wait. But we're gonna need these up in front of this. Basically, because this is like a subset, or these are subsets of these notes. Night light. So like night light. Emirate. In fact, I'm gonna do... In fact, what if I just copied this whole line? Because I can just swap out this part here. Because yeah, we have Nightlight Emirate, Nightlight not Emirate, Nightlight others. Nim? So that's our first thing. Nightlight dim lights. So I think what I can do is I can also do this for these two of, like, cross-referencing. So, like, you know, this guy says that some of the lights in the town are dim. What do you think about that? And she's like, oh, I guess they're weird. They flicker sometimes, or, like, have weird colors. I've heard, let's say, so for this guy, this one is the winner of, like, the one that's actually useful. So I've heard the Emirate. Might be responsible. Brave of you. And then let's do, like, we'll basically do complete block, NL questions. So brave of you to say that out in public. I seen him. You have kidnapping people? Okay. Plotting. So basically, what he's seen is... What he's actually seen is in here, if we go to this corner, he saw this figure, or he saw two figures like this that were plotting through the light. So I want the player to think about, like, Strange lights, sometime at like 2 in the morning, seeing figures. Sometime last week. About 2 in the morning. Two dark figures. So let's say, how do you know they're emirate? And let's have, you know, I wish I just had like a loop function like this. I'm gonna, you know what? Fuck it. I have the power. I can make a loop function. I can learn how to make lexical. Well, no, it's too late. It's too late. Somebody, let's say like journal, note, night, light, dark figures. Somebody saw people out at around 2 a.m. in an alley in the south side of, on the southern edge of town, next to the cliffs. He thinks involved. Okay. So how do you know they were involved? Have you seen them more recent, or do they go out every night? I don't know. I don't like looking at. Okay. Go to loop QNL1. Very interesting. You. Do I want... I'll do this. Actually, I can just do this instead, and then just have this at the very end here. Like that. And now this loops. And then this is how we actually exit. Now I'm trying to think, how would I do a loop? I think I would have to do it at the, like, syntax level. Which is different from, like back and things like that are actually, like, functions that manipulate the state of the evaluator. Where what I'd want, like, a loop instruction to do is basically exactly what I did here. Where it just creates a, like, you know... It creates this tag and this goto inside the syntax, rather than creating some sort of like stack of loops or whatever it'd have to do otherwise if I had it as a function. But whatever, I'll save it for the sequel. That's for version 2 of this software. But okay, so how do you know they were emirate? Okay, so how do you know they were emirate? They have to be. Actually, let's say, why would they be meeting? Berets, I bet. So let's say berets. Just another name for emirate guys. So the emirates, what, ground troops? So how do you know they were emirate? They're the only ones. The emirate established a curfew. Curfew spelled with an F? Huh, I thought it was spelled PH. Okay, so they made a curfew after the first people went missing. Anybody else would get arrested. So why would they meet outside? The emirate has a lot of enemies. A lot of spies. This guy has a very specific, cadence of speaking, I'm seeing. He says one sentence as two sentences. So let's also have this be Crab Hill South. I'm gonna put this on the map. We got a lot of... Actually, why did I design it like this? Why didn't I put, Wait, there's the thing. This thing. So that way... Oh, wait, what? Did I do exactly what I didn't want to do? Okay, come on. Hang on. We need to, expand and collapse all. Yeah, all of these should have, this. Wait. Now I'm confused. Why does it look like they're different? Like, why is this wrong? Oh, this is the button to deactivate it. This is the button that tells you the state. I hate when buttons do that, where, it's ambiguous whether the button is telling you the current state, like this one, or whether it's telling you what the state will be when you press the button, like this one. It's kind of impressive that it has, UI so close, two UI elements so close to each other, doing the opposite thing, communicating the opposite information that way. I mean, because, like, the lock, that just tells you it's locked. This isn't an unlocked key. But it is an unlocked key up here. So these two are communicating the opposite information. This one's telling you the current state. This one's telling you the state that it's going to be when you click it. This one's telling you the current state. This one's telling you the state it's going to be when you click it. UI design is my passion. Or I guess UX design. I mean, they're the same thing. Just one sounds more pretentious and, like, encompasses, like, slightly more things. So I've heard the Emirate might not be responsible. Is that actually a very compelling thing? So, I know. One of the people who disappeared was an Emirate soldier. It was an Emirate peacekeeper. What was his name? Oh wait, I forgot. I gotta do, this. Actually, I think he would know. So I wonder if he made enemies. Okay, and what does others mean again? Is it in this one? Others. This is probably not the first string of appearances. Oh, okay. There was another string of disappearances some years ago. You know, I think this one might actually be... So yeah, I guess for now, let's just gradually move these out. So... So, somebody... So a shopkeeper mentioned the lights are going dim. I have no idea if that's, I think it's worth asking too. And then, what is this about specters? I think this is one where it's like not specters. So whatever is causing this is smarter. So I'm gonna actually do it like this, so that way I can like do that. So hang on. Let's look for a night light. Huh. I thought. So how do we do that here then? So nightlight slash spec. Okay. It's just. Oh, I see. Yeah. Whatever it is, it's too smart for that. And then we'll also forget Q nightlight right there. And there. I should also think about his language. Like how proficient in English is this random guy? But okay, so this gives me lots and lots of things that I can expand on in the future. And I think, well, eventually I want even more dialogue with a bunch of other guys. Like, Sadak should probably also have basically all of these, but it'll be fine for now. Okay, let's see if this works. I'll need to... I should have saved the game. But oh well. I can just create a new game. It's fast enough to just go through. Oh wait, we don't even need to do that. We can just go this way. Here. Let's see what you have. Oh wait, no. Not that. What's life like in the city? As long as that, as long as that, that, that. Okay. Oh wait, no. We have to do this. I keep forgetting that I need to bring back the notifications right here of the fact that you can like do this. But okay, some people suspect the Emirate is kidnapping political enemies. Let's say this. Yeah, so all of these lead to the same city right now. All roads are leading to Rome. And Rome is this line of questioning. And then, did I actually put the guy anywhere? I don't think I did. Yeah, the untrusting citizen. We need him probably, I'm going to say in the mosque area. So yeah, this is going to be untrusting guy. And his ID will just be NPC, Crab Hill, I don't know, one. Or like, let's just say untrusting NL. Yeah, that seems fine. So this way the player goes around, sees the sights, talks to the people. And we can go to here. What do you know about the disappearances? That's the wrong thing. Alright, so what do you know? Nim might be involved. There was a similar string of disappearances. Oh yeah, wait. Hang on. Why are so many of these? Oh, okay. These were the only two that have only one line. I was like, wait, this seems like it's like not working correctly. One of the people who disappeared was an Emirate peacekeeper. Okay, and I'm still getting the issue where it's not actually exiting into Okay. I'll just put as a bug, the special dialogue menu is not properly exiting out of the visuals here. But it is doing this, so okay. So it's still... Yeah, so it's not visually removing the stack properly. That should be easy to fix, actually. Hang on. What would that be? Let's go to Dialog Evaluator and dial... So it should be like special menu. So show special menu. So when we do this... Special, so... Okay, so that just does that. Okay, so we're getting the list of items. So basically that's what, like, gets, you know, this and then this. And then we, like, choose which ones we're gonna do. So we, like, go through all of our, selected items. And then multi-line button, evaluate text, yeah, so we do that. Replies, connect, so this seems to be the strange thing here. No, that's not right. Do we have anywhere where we don't do the viewer going back? I think it might be this. No, wait, no. This does if viewer back. Yeah. So is this being called? Oh wait, no, it wouldn't be being called here. It'd be it'd be here. Okay. Berets, this. Oh yeah, we should have that. Hang on, questions. No, untrusting citizen. Emirate. Ask once outside. Ask once when. Ask once thanks. Oh wait, no. We don't need that one. Okay. Have they meet outside? Do they come out every night? Very interesting, thank you. Okay. So this should be... Oh. Wait, why was the... Why didn't that do the correct thing? I don't think that set the message box correctly. Because it was supposed to do, in special block here. Hang on. Where are we? So our call frame is here. Yeah, we were supposed to be in a special block, so why were we not in a special block? Push stack. Special call. I see. Wait, hang on. Why does this not have in special block as a thing that I can just set here? Didn't I literally fix this? I distinctly remember doing this. I think there must be something wrong with, like, my, When did I... Huh. Okay. But we're just gonna do... null... special call. Okay, and then let's make sure... Okay. Did I do this wrong? Hang on. So here, special call. Okay. So now I can do a, very interesting... Oh, wait, no. Now we can ignore this. That was all. Okay. Now I'm going to try again. I swear that I did exactly that change, though. So it's going to be concerning when I inevitably find out when I did that. Okay, so this is the guy. Oh, yeah. Let's try this guy again. Use note. This again. Okay. Now it does what I want, where it doesn't get deeper and deeper into the nesting, because these are just separate, independent sequences. Okay. But now we can see all the new things that we have. Okay, that was all. Okay, so let's actually, like... Diff. Okay. Wow, there's so many images. Or there's so much stuff. Every time I do this, there's like 1 trillion files that are changed. But okay. More dialogue for NL Part 1. Because, okay, I'm going to say, for now, that gives the player now at least some way of directly confirming they should be out and about looking for streetlights at 2 in the morning, looking for dark figures, and that something suspicious is going on. I should probably just have a wait button. But I won't do that right now. Because I can just do world, advance, time, 12. There's the way out. Strange. Where's the light green? There's something there behind the light. Must be a trick of the light. Oh yeah, I wasn't even arrested yet. Wait, hang on. How have I not been arrested yet? State data. Because it should be nightlight suspicion. So this is 4. I think it should be... I think if we go to the guards... Yeah, if this is greater than or equal to 3, it should arrest us. Oh, wait, but it was 2 when he talked to us. But this gives us 2 suspicion. Okay. Now we're arrested. Beautiful. It's all coming together now. Came here. Would that be a crime? So I've heard it probably isn't normal. I kind of want to have even more options, like I've heard it was the emirate. Which would be a bad choice, but I think a very interesting choice. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to put a few other ones. So, like, state, get, stats, night, light, slash, nim? No, let's say Emirates. Some people say So some people are desperate to create their own villains. Okay. So what's the other one? I'm gonna do Nim as well. And in fact, I'm gonna do Sus 2, maybe. Yeah, because he gets mad at that. Nim. So we've considered that, but it doesn't seem likely. So they're not the type to, quiet. You know, I know what to do. I'm trying to think of an elegant way to phrase what I want. Because, Sadok is, I think, very well spoken and eloquent in ways that even people who are fluent in English in this area are typically not. But quiet isn't their usual. Let's say desperate to cast us as villains. Okay. So basically just little bits of flavor text that you can use there if you've heard more and more things. So I've heard it as a normal specter since they don't want to wait at night for attack. Oh, right. Do I have some sort of stat here? Why is this frozen? Maybe I did something wrong with the... No, all I did was add a field to the stack frame. I didn't cause anything that'd cause, like, infinite recursion or whatever is happening here. Well, maybe I did? Huh. It seems like I did something wrong. But okay. Get arrested again. Actually, they should say that there's a curfew. So when you talk to, there's a curfew in place. Okay. Alright, so let's see if this happens. It might have been something weird with, like, the debugging or whatever I was doing. Oh, might have been because I was pressing U. Because U is the skip to next choice button, and that often causes, like, infinite loops when I do it wrong. But okay. Some people say it's the Emirate removing political enemies. Very funny. I'm investigating you for a crime we're committing. Some people are desperate to cast us as the villains. So he and the soldiers talk for a brief while and then leave the room. You wait and wait. It feels like hours before they return. Thank you for your time. You can leave now. That's it? You don't need me for anything else? No, we don't. Then they lead you out of the building. I find it hard to believe I was a suspect in your investigation. Okay. Wait. Did we actually... I guess we did this. Why is this one putting a bar here? Oh well. So now we go out. This... Oh, I see. Because I got arrested at 2:30, and now it's 4:55, so this thing is shut off. Let's do, World Advance Time. -2.3? There we go. Strange green lamp. Oh yeah, I already saw the lamp. I forgot about that. Ooh, something happened. Hang on. Oh, I see. This was from, So, task is completed. Hang on. What was that? Basically, it's printing errors from Sadoc's is completed. On call to task is completed. Failed for finding note nightlight slash others. Okay, so I think it's just not... I think... Is this just the wrong note? Active task. Task is complete. Okay, its task is complete. My mistake. Let's exit out. And also I'm going to stand. So I keep seeing you wander around at night. I'm starting to wonder if you really are involved with this. Well, you're going to have to come with me, buddy, because I found a strange green lamp. One of the street lamps is green, and I think it has to do with the disappearances. What are you talking about? No, we didn't see anything like this before. Oh, wait, I completely missed these errors here. Wait. Invalid operators equals bool and int. Oh, wait. You know, I'm going to remove all of these equals 1. Oh, well. There we go. Actually, what song is this? I don't... Okay, I remember this song. I don't think I've ever played this album. This is from the Animation Grading Simulator. This is the soundtrack to it. Okay. Let's see if it works now. There we go. One of those street lamps is green. Alright, I can come take a look. Well... What in God's name is that? He freezes, pointing into a dark figure. Okay. And then we got this, and we can talk to him again. Okay, and then we come here. We've come into a cave. There's a spooky boy. It's clear something is wrong. And now, we got attacked by a spooky creature. Isn't that cool? And then we killed it. And then we're back here. We should be in the cave still. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna be, where's that attack? Why is there no, doesn't this have a thing? Oh, kill button connected on kill, add stat, ghost killed. So when do we, like... Oh, I see. The kill button actually sends us back to there. So I'm going to go to cave 1. Okay. So he stands there. Blah, blah, blah. So. Okay. And eventually it should be a bit less contrived. The lamp will be replaced without you looking at it. Seems the bulb's been replaced. Okay, and that puts us back into, like, part 2 now. Okay, here's Jacqueline Southcott. The governor invited you to meet him. His office is in the Citadel. Okay. And so this basically lets the player then get to the... Okay, this is actually a good time for this, basically introducing the fact that the governor isn't happy that you were arrested as part of this whole thing. So now the issue is I don't like that this is here, so I'm just going to put a dialog viewer. The end bar is yeah. So what about the disappearances? Well, actually now, so now I need some dialogue here to correct for, this all. Ugh. I write one word and 10 words need to be in its place. Because basically what's happening is his dialogue is still written under the assumption people are still disappearing and we don't know anything about it, where now I'm talking to him after we've killed the creature that was causing the disappearances. Okay. And yeah, we have way too many of those end bars. Like, they should only happen if the next input is guaranteed to end the dialogue. Or end the, like, current branch, like if you're going back. But okay. Who's this guy? Who are these guys? These guys don't say anything. Oh yeah, I put a bunch of NPCs everywhere because I was under the assumption that I would eventually, like, do something with them. Okay. Let's go to, where's my writing that I was doing? Quests, Nightlight. So, yeah, part 2. Let's think about, first, I want to think about the goals that I have for the actual quest. I want Sadak and Jackie to have more interactions because, one, it's possible the player might not have realized that Sadak knows their mom. And I also have, like, various, like, isolated snippets that I think are funny between the two, but currently there's no way of actually integrating them. And then also there's the broader implications, because now there's actually, like, the weird interaction of why does this light let these machines pretend, like, pose as people? What is the meaning of that? And how does that relate to things like the medium, which is, you know, a thing that's supposed to just let you commune with people that you know? So let's go back to the graph. So let's say night light 2. So where does this go? Writing quests? Yeah, Nightlight 2. So yeah, we have, like, medium, or how do the... Let's say that. How do the lights relate to the medium? Are there more creatures? Or where does the cave lead? Where are the missing people? Are there more specters that are going to be causing problems? And, can we, like, I don't know, let's say also, like, well, what am I, let's just say, like, questions about the case. And then questions about Saddam. How does he know you're... how do we get him to stop being such a jackass? Important questions. Everyone's asking them. Um... Hmm. Hmm. So yeah, my first idea. Let's go back to my ideas. Another peacekeeper asks for your help on the case. You have value as an informant. And what would happen with this is that Sadak gets mad at this. And Sadak does not want you playing detective, like, because you are literally just some, like, random foreign woman who's, like, barging in. So, like, crime scene, or, yeah, let's say cave specifically. Asks other peacekeepers not to answer your questions. Let's see. What are some other ideas that we could have here? I don't know. Gives you false leads to hopefully get you out of the area. So, what would the governor do? I think maybe he would want you to, let's start off with some things that I know are actually true. Or the governor believes the case is solved. No need to investigate further already. The threat has been found. And basically, And Jackie. Basically, the governor is like counting his chickens before they hatch, basically. He's like, oh, well, we killed the creature. The city's safe again. And Sadak believes that that's going to cause more issues down the line if it turns out that's not the case, and there are still creatures that need to be dealt with. Let's see, and I'm thinking now, do I want to have any sort of consequence if the player doesn't investigate further, of like, oh, people continued to disappear, and then that caused even more, like, worse relationship between the peacekeepers and, like, the citizens of the town? Let's put that here as, like, a possible thing. So these are ideas for things with the people, but now we need ideas for like how we actually investigate this case further, which I guess is just going to be like going into the cave, really, is like the main thing. You go into the cave, you do some kind of platforming type stuff, you explore around. This would be much more platforming adventure rather than point and click adventure, where like maybe you still have to like find things and then use them, but it'd be more physical, like actual keys or like objects like that. And I still need like what's at the end? More creatures, presumably. Probably some kind of cool boss. That would be neat. What if it's something that can talk? And then I'm thinking, like, what if it can talk? What if it can use the people it's captured as material? Either by having them, like, physically controlled and, like, puppeting them, or by using their memories. Because I still don't know what actually happens to the people. So yeah, let's say that as well. Like, or what became of the missing people? Possessed? Alive or dead? Absorbed? I think it must be something that scans their brains, that gets all of the knowledge out of their brains, which we know from how the medium works is a non-lethal process. In fact, even a completely painless and imperceptible process, even. Well, I could change that. I could make it extremely painful to use the medium, which would be an interesting twist on it, but probably not. This would mean that we'd now have, like, a whole, like, 3 different quests where you talk to a person and then go down into a cave with them to fight a spooky monster, or, like, platform around, which I guess, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad structure for the game. Because I could eventually have quests that don't involve going into a cave. But where's the fun in that? So another peacekeeper asks for your help on the case, believing you have value as an informant. So going into the cave with people? Certainly follow you. In fact, that could be interesting if, like, half of the challenge is trying to get around his security forces. Of, like... I'll think on that. And then maybe the other guy. You know, let's just call him Oleander. Because I've been thinking of the name Oleander, which admittedly is a very, like, Western name. So it'd probably be different in the final version. Or not, I guess. I can name anyone I want. But okay. So are there things here that I know are going to be the case? So what are the further implications of the light? So like, gameplay, let's say finding characters we can talk to, finding platforms. Because yeah, the whole thing was like there's this weird illusion, illusion from this light. So like the obvious evolution is to let the player use that, especially since like the player literally has the light in the 3D version as just a lamp that they can carry with them. Well, eventually. I think this quest won't give you that item, but it will give you an item, or it will let you use maybe like static lamps that are like on the ground, and then you can position them somewhere to like selectively enable or disable things. Okay, so let's start with a draft. Because I think I'm only going to get there if I start, like, elaborating on this. So, like, after the creature is killed, can't investigate the cave because it's now blocked off by peacekeepers. The player wants to do this because 1, cool cave, and 2, Jackie believes Sadak can hopefully get him open up about her mother. See, a lot of the quests are basically things that Jackie believes, of like, okay, if I do this thing for this person, they have to relent and, like, help me. Well, specifically with Sadak. Other people are more, like, reciprocal to this sort of stuff, but for Sadak, this might actually not work. Because, again, we are still, like, fighting him tooth and nail to help him. But okay, the way you get in... Who then gets Oleander. Or you talk to Oleander. Ah, okay. And I see how this works now. The governor is convinced the city is safe, as I said. So he would be completely fine with letting Jackie go into the cave because, one, that means that, you know, basically buttering her up to forget about the whole getting arrested in the pitch black of night thing. And, you know, good publicity of like, oh, look at this, you know, even the tourists are going into the caves now, so it's perfectly safe. Okay. The governor believes the cave is safe. The problem is solved, so he's more than happy. Sadat completely disagrees with both the governor and Oleander. And still blocks you. And so, what exactly can the player do now? Because it's one of those things where, like, mom says yes, dad says no. Of, like, the governor of the entire province is saying yes, but the police chief doesn't care and is blocking you out. I don't want it to just be a back and forth, because that would basically be... you'd have to run from here to here, like 3 times, if I do that. And also just be kind of bad storytelling of, like, you go up to somebody and it's like, hey, actually, what if Sadat goes to talk to the governor? Okay, that seems better. Of, like, then there's no back and forth, except of, like, well, except one literal back and forth of, like, you go to Sadak, he says, no, the governor's wrong, I'm gonna go talk to him in person. And then they go. And then, actually, what if that just means that because you are with Oleander, you can just go into the cave while Sadak is arguing with the governor? You can either follow Sadak, or just go into the cave. Okay, so let's go. So there's gonna be... now there's a cave story. A beautiful cave story. What happens in the cave? Cool stuff. And then you, and then you fight a big monster, and then you win. Probably of other peacekeepers, and then you win. Okay, yeah. Okay, that sounds fine. So the office story is, argue. Jackie believes... yeah, but you can... so This is going to be an interesting thing. When I portray the player as saying something that Jackie doesn't believe because she knows that it's convenient for her, how should I depict that? Because I know in a lot of games, well, I should say in Fallout, for example, you just have in braces just the word lie. Or in parentheses or whatever. And I could do that. But that'll be for later. Because, yeah, I think I'll just not add any sort of special annotation for when Jackie's lying, and just let the player think whatever they want to think about the lines of dialogue. Like, are they saying this because they genuinely side with the governor and believe that there's no possible, believe that the problem was taken care of when we killed one guy at, like, the mouth of this cave that clearly goes deeper and has, like, God knows what inside of it? Or are we just lying for the sake of making Sadak look like an idiot and getting what we want? This does mean, though, that we still don't have much interaction between Jackie and Sadak. I think what that has to be is in the cave anyway. So, like, cool stuff happens. Then Sadak inserts himself into the story. Okay. This seems like a pretty good plot now. I put a lot of elaboration onto this, but I think this line here is going to be the bulk of the actual story. Because this is like a classic, like, go on an adventure with, like, a guy who likes you and a guy who doesn't like you. Because that's going to be Oleander and Sadak. Okay, yeah. Let's say you and Oleander into the cave to figure out what's happening. Cool stuff happens, so we can elaborate on that. Sadat catches up. But then something physically blocks you. Very, like, I don't know. I'm thinking Disney's Atlantis. I haven't seen that movie in like a decade. Well, more than a decade. I think it's been, honest to God, like 20 years. Hang on. Important question. When did the Atlantis movie come out? I don't remember any of the plot, but this feels very reminiscent of that. Or just some sort of, like, Disney plot of, like, you and the bad guy are stuck together. Okay, so that's 24 years old now. So, okay. It could have been actually 20 years since I've seen the movie. But okay. Sadat catches up, demands you turn around. Then something blocks you. Then more cool stuff happens while you argue. Some sort of... with the lights, like pseudo-medium stuff. From your past. Honestly, this plot sounds fucking cool. Like, because we can have, like, characters from any one of the any one of these guys' past life, like, come into the fray as, like, one of these illusory things. Because now we're not limited to, like, the bounds of the medium with the rules that I have established. As long as there's something that can obscure a view and a light. It could be too elaborate for me, but I'll ignore that for now. Yeah, then you fight a big monster. So, this... I don't know if this is the correct plot now, or if this is, like, the correct end point here. Because I think I want something more cerebral, maybe. You know, the game is very non-violent now. But, I don't know. Maybe there are some things that I should just defer to, like, video game. Okay. Let's start elaborating on people who could be in here. And start sort of shortening this up. Because I think... Actually, I can just start... I'm going to start doing this. So let's go back to the cave. Oh yeah, it's cave_1. We're going to need Sadok here. And this is going to need to be... oh, wrong Sadok. That was the 3D Sadok. We need Sadok 2D. And that's what he looks like in real life. Just a little image, just a little PNG. So let's have stage 2. Actually, I think we won't have these guys yet. We'll have a control. We'll have this be stage 2. Conditional this one. State data, or no, save. How the heck does this thing work? Where does it get its stuff from? Condition keys. So where do we get the keys? Current scene vars keys. Okay, and those are going to be state as, or get stat, night light stage 2. Also, don't we have, like, export multi-line? I wish there was a way to do, like, code. Actually, maybe there is. No. At least not that I see. Okay, that's fine. What I'm going to have here is I'm going to have a peacekeeper. This guy's going to be here. In fact, actually, we need a swapper. Well... Okay, full rect. Door or guard. Yeah. Eventually it's going to be a bit more nuanced than this. Okay, layout, anchor offsets. And this now has swapper. Because now what we'll have is like permission. Or night light 2. Cave access, I think. Yeah, I think Jackie, I'll just like contrive basically Jackie is not willing to just run past the guard into the cave. So that way it's like it's as if the door doesn't exist from Jackie's perspective. So basically this means we have that if it's true, this if it's false. This only shows up if we have that, and then this guy's going to be here. He'll say so let's say, what are you guarding here? Or, can I go through? Okay, so, dialogue. Nightlight. I think I'll just create a new folder. Do I want a new folder? Nah, I'll just do it here. Cave guard. Let's say NL with a prefix there. Okay, so what are you guarding here? I'm guarding the... Actually, I just realized we don't actually need this if, let's say, like, stat, or state, get stat. Yeah, okay, I have a better idea for how this is going to work. This is now going to be null. We're just going to have this here. And in fact, that means we don't even need this here. And I'm going to turn this into a swapper. There we go. So get stat, night, light, cave, access. I was told you were... Okay, otherwise, a guard stands in your way. What are you guarding here? Let's say... This is an active crime scene. Sorry, there's plenty of caves. Okay. So what I should do here... Let's say like state get or journal note night light cave guard. Someone guarding the south cave. Okay, so this will be like night light 2 south cave. Is it just Crab Hill Cave now? As part of the investigation. So let's say, what do I want to do here? Nobody's allowed in until we thoroughly investigate. I actually helped. I was killed in here. If anything, I should begin... I heard something to that effect. However, witnesses... are not allowed on the crime scene either. Take care. I did more than just witness. I actually... Oh, well, I didn't want to go in there anyway. Okay. I'll have to ask, what do I want to call him? I don't know his rank. I don't know what the rank of this guy is going to be. Premier? Chief actress. Oh. It'd be premier. Interesting that it chose to not put me... Like... It's interesting how dictionaries and like websites just don't work nowadays. Like you click a thing and it just doesn't do the thing. Yeah, let's say premier for now. That's Premier Sandcone Sadak. He specified. Well, no, I just realized the plot doesn't make sense if you're, Actually, it does, kind of. Okay, yeah, I think this is fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a guy Oleander. And I want to sketch him. Oh yeah, we have this already. I want a guy. So let's start with the basics of a man. A man is a symmetrical trapezoid, basically. With a head. There we go. We've basically made a guy already. I kind of imagine him being big, but not particularly, like, big and nice. Because that could be interesting from, like, because he is very intimidated by Sadok, because Sadok is, like, well, one, super high ranked, but also, like, very, like, worldly, very experienced in matters of warfare. Where this guy, well, he probably has been to war. I'm not sure exactly why he would be, like, intimidated by anyone, but oh well. Maybe that just goes to show the qualities of Sadok. His intensity as a person, his fearsomeness in matters of rhetorical battle. You know, maybe he couldn't win a fist fight, but he could win a fight of wits. Okay. Admittedly, I've already, like, drawn this guy kind of silly. Well, I can just... Boom, now he's not even half as silly. Alright, so what do their boots look like? Oh yeah, they were this way, where they go like this, and then they're gonna come in like this, and then they go down like this, basically. That's basically the design. And then we'd need his actual, like... What do these guys look like again? He'll be wearing, like, a standard uniform. He'll just be, like, bigger than everybody. How do these guys work? Yeah, basically like this. Let's keep it sketchy. It reduces the stakes. The desire to make it, like, finished looking. And then we need here what if we give him big ol' eyes? And like everybody, he has a beard. I like this beard. I like this guy. He's a very, Gordon Freeman type of guy. And then eventually he gets his beret. How do berets look? Like this, basically? What does his uniform say about him? Maybe he's slightly sloppy? I'm trying to think, though. Okay. There we go. There's Oleander. We got cool new guys now. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. This is correct. This is working better than I thought it would. And look at this. Perfect. There's my pen. Okay, now I'll just put in the rest of the, like, flats here. Okay. Okay. PNG, NPC, Nightlight, Oleander. Alright, so let's copy... Let's do an NPC. Oh wait, no. New inherited scene. I like how squished the image is here, and also the fact that I can't select it. Thank you, Godot, for not letting me select things. Okay. Hopefully now I can select it. There we go. Nope, I can't select it. I can't drag and drop it. I can't click anything. Alright, let's try it again. Okay, there we go. And then we just, boom, perfect. Oh, and actually this means that we actually need, control here, guys. And hopefully that will not break this guy. Okay, good, it didn't. Then we got big ol' Oleander. I don't even know what to say to that. Let's do ignore. Okay, I'll try. I'll try as I might. Try and try again to get the thing to click. There we go. Now we have Oleander. Then we can go to, Oleander's dialog. Talked equals 0. Let's say... Wait, we need this to be ch hidden cave or whatever it was. Oh wait, no, not here. Yeah, this one. There we are. So let's do like guarding. What do I want here exactly? Let's start with just assuming that he is where he's supposed to be because, you know, this stat is true and the other stat isn't true with the cave access or whatever. Are you guarding? So what are you two doing here? Let's just say skip, leave. You know what? I'll just have the same thing here. Could I get into the cave behind you? Let's see, regarding the crime scene, there's something happened. Okay. Ask once, cave, okay. So the player can ask to go into the cave, and this guy should know who you are. Let's say, like, not stat, or game, get stats. Oleander, intro. You know me. I heard you helped. I think what would be funny is if Oleander thinks you're trying to clear your name because you've been accused of getting arrested. I think that'd be funny. Okay, so I heard you were arrested. But are trying to clear your name. Oh, no. I was cleared of any wrongdoing. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, and then let's say this actually. And then we're gonna have otherwise. I'm tired of you. Hmm. Okay. So how do you know me? Okay. Hello again, Jackie. Well. Hmm. So this should happen when we don't have him as a follower, I guess? Like all of this? Like not, I'll think about, I gotta think about this step by step. Okay. So what are you two doing? Regarding the crime scene, something must have happened deeper in the cave. Could I get into the cave? Well. They say instead of. We were told not to let anyone. True. Okay, let's do... Note... Oleander intro... I met a man named Oleander. Who recognized me. Thinks I'm glad to see someone around here thinks I'm helpful. Okay, night, light, 2, Oleander. Oh wait, no. His name is NL, Oleander. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So I feel like I can't really be much help. You're aware that I helped with the investigation, though, aren't you? Um, okay, so let's say this guy says, thank you for your help on the investigation. I don't think we would have gotten... It's not great. Hmm. I guess, So I guess Premier Sadak is hesitant. Doesn't like giving people compliments. Hmm. Okay. So what are you two doing here? So you're aware that I helped with the investigation, though, aren't you? Alright, I'll, leave. Hmm. You... Hmm. Um... So a lot of people around here don't trust us. I think... Sort of being a peacekeeper. With you, I guess... You make a good informant. Hmm. We should probably have... multiple different possible things. Let's say like here, like to do, what if the player didn't talk to anyone? The more I write, the more gaps there are that need to be filled. It's very tricky. All right. We could see if Sadak would make a special exception. So I don't think he'd do that, or know what? Let's do that. Okay, I'll go with you. Main offices. And then it's gonna be, what's it gonna be? Main speaker, follow player. Okay, and we're gonna do here journal note, night light, ask, or like Sadak. I need to ask Sadak. To ask Sadak if I can go into the caves. Admittedly, I don't really know if this is all like very interesting, but whatever. Okay, so now we have a guy who should be able to follow us, and he'll have a really tiny little PNG. So we can go here, go into the cave. Where's the other guy? Do I have access? Why is this, if true, stage 2. Oh, I see. This should be guys. Yeah, because we don't have access to either of those. Wait, then why do we not have Nightlight stage 2? Isn't that the thing that we have here? Huh. So we have if state get stat stat. Huh. But don't we have, so current value Nightlight stage 2? Okay. Pretty obvious that we don't have it. Print dictionary state data. Because, yeah, don't we have... Oh, it's called Part 2. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Now we should have Oleander and the guy. Hmm. Oh yeah, Oleander doesn't have his dialogue yet. Okay, so once he's following us, he'll need special dialogue. Game get stat. Oh, it's not game. It's, actually, isn't it game? I guess it's not. Where's Oleander? Hello, you're Jackie, right? How do you know me? I heard you were arrested for the disappearances, but now you're working to clear your name. Must be a frightening position to be in. Oh no, I was released after the first questioning. So eventually he'll you know, do something. Oh, I thought you were. No matter. He nods knowingly. I don't think we would have found this cave without you. Really, you're the first person to think so. I guess Premier Sadok doesn't like giving people compliments. A lot of people around here don't trust us. It's part of being a peacekeeper. With you, I guess some people are more willing to talk. You make a good informant. Well, thank you. So what are you two doing here? Regarding the crime scene, someone must have happened deeper, or something must have happened deeper in the cave. So could I get into the cave behind you? Oh, well, we were told to only let peacekeepers through. You're aware that I helped with the investigation, though? Let's say... So, clearly he's aware. Before, didn't I? I don't think I'll be able to help much. We could see if Sadok would make a special exception. I don't think he'd do that. So the only other person... with the authority to, Okay. And so, we cannot go into the cave until we have access. Actually, I just realized. We have a whole thing with the cave, like, lock buttons. Like, we can just do, like, nightlight cave access here. You know, basically just have simpler stats. So now it's locked. Oh yeah, let's get him as a follower, and then I'm gonna start doing the dialogue of like him being with us. Can I get into the cave? You know what? Let's do that. Oh right, journal _ note. All right. Oh, and we should probably like exit here. And now we got little Oleander down here to help us. Okay, so we need to reorganize this. Okay. Now if we go to the journal. Oh, we need to do this. Okay, so now we have Nightlight, and we should have Nightlight Part 2. Wait, why does Oleander not have his visual name? It's right here. I'll figure that out soon. Also, we should have Nightlight Part 2. Didn't I get that from Sadak? Like if we go to the journal. Okay, yeah, now we have it. So, do you want more help? Okay, so I think what we do is we can introduce Nightlight 2 with both Sadak and Oleander. Because it's weird that you can, like, talk to him like that. Or, let's do Nightlight 2. Deeper in the cave, so let's say this. Nightlight 2, Nightlight Part 2, the Peacekeepers investigating our cave Sadak and I found. And what we can do here is if the player has Sadak as a follower, so player has follower. Okay. What are you doing here with her? Oh yeah, I sometimes stay pretty quiet, but I do try to like at least give some context as to what I'm writing. Because basically now we've enlisted the help of this guy to get into a cave. Because we want to basically help play detective, but the actual guy who's in charge does not want us playing detective, so that's what I'm writing right now. That conversation. Let's do for this one otherwise. Let's do like not stats. Not game get stats. Night light cave. Because then what we're going to do is, do you have something to say? Okay, there we go. So, Sadak thinks we were arrested, and then the premier, or then Oleander thinks, or tries to explain his case with the investigation of the cave. How do I spell nuisance? Huh. Nuisance. Have I spelled the word nuisance before? That's weird. I've never seen that before. Or at least I've never thought about how to spell nuisance. I think I've just always misspelled it. But okay. So if she asks again, arrest her for being a nuisance. So that went about how I expected it. Take care. Okay, and then me. I guess it'd be player dismiss. Follower. Oleander. So I thought I was quite helpful. So I commend you for your most basic social etiquette. Okay. So, she offered to help with the investigation in the cave. I think actually it would be good if the governor only contacts you as part of this part 2. When do I set the pending stat anyway? I think if we go to overview. This should do this. Okay. So it's not going to be this. It's going to be Nightlight Part 2. Basically. Well... I'm trying to think what exactly the series of events is here. Where'd my writing go? Nightlight. There it is. Okay. So you talk to Oleander. Yeah. Who offers? Yeah, let's say that. Okay. Let's say this. So that went about as well as I expected it to. Or, yeah, that went about how I expected it. Why are you so interested in helping, in getting involved with this case? So we need, Sadak, new mum. I know. If I can't get it out of you, maybe if I help you, that'll convince you to help me. Let's say all you're doing is annoying. Okay. So I want the player and Sadak, I think, can now really butt head. Excuse me. Okay. The player and Sadak can butt heads here. Because now the players, or now it's clear to Sadak that you're like getting other people involved and like getting other people on your side, and he really doesn't like that because he still thinks you're annoying, that you aren't helpful, and worst of all, he hates your mom. And by extension, you. Because he also hates your country. So I just want to figure out... Let's say... I just want to see what's in the cave. A strange creature. The light. It's so... I don't understand it. Okay. Actually, let's have this as, I know what to do. We're gonna have this here. Actually, we do need that. We're gonna do state get stats. What am I trying to do? I know. Sadok annoyed and L2, maybe? So then what we can do here is state get stats, Sadok annoyed and L2, and not disgust. Or not, Actually, is this how we do this? So if we go to evaluator, function disgust, block state visited. Oh, okay. Disgust is for something else. What I'll do here is just have that. There we go. Oh, wait. Okay. So this now means that we'll do this, and then you can either lead right into this, or you can exit here and, like, resume this conversation right here. Otherwise, this... And presumably the player would go back to here. I'll have to figure out how I want to do more of the day-night stuff. Actually, we should probably go back to, I don't know, overview or something. I'll figure it out later. And I can see it on your face. Okay. The other one will be, I want to help. There's people going missing. You want to help. Then let us do our jobs. You don't know what you're getting involved with. The fact you weren't killed by that creature before was pure luck. I don't want some sort of international incident because you pretend that you're a detective or something like that. Because some idiot tourist Simple curiosity is not at all a good reason. So if you want to learn something, go to a museum. Okay. For whatever reason, you're refusing to tell me. Let's see. You can't convince me of something that isn't true. That isn't true. I wonder how long this dialogue should go. I think this is probably about an appropriate depth for now. Because I still need to figure out... I think what's going to happen is this conversation is basically completely optional. And instead, after some amount of time, the governor will just catch wind of what's happening and declare, like, you should cease investigating and, like, do something else. In which case, and that's not going to be a popular decision with anybody. So, like, both Oleander and Sadak will be like, well, fuck that. We're just going to investigate on our own. And then the player can, like, tag along as, like, an unwanted, well, like, one of two wanted, like, stowaway. Because then they have no, like, authority to stand on, basically. Or at least Sadak has no authority to stand on. Just tell me what happened. Well... Okay. Let's see how this dialogue feels. Oh. That's not quite right. Oh yeah, because I keep saying game. Okay. So, do we have Oleander with us? We do. Okay. Do you have something to say? Oh, just wanted to check in. Why did we just want to check in? Because we should have Oleander here. Oh, it's NL Oleander. I keep forgetting. Okay. Oleander, what are you doing here? Was she arrested again? No, Premier. She offered to help with the investigation in the cave. Zadok sighs. No. If she asks again, arrest her for being a nuisance. Oh, of course, Premier. I thought I was quite helpful before. You saw something strange and reported it. I commend you for your sense of the most basic social responsibility, but that doesn't entitle you to enter our crime scenes. Oleander, go back to work. Right, have a good day. Zadok leers at you. Why are you so interested in getting involved with this case? You knew my mother, and for whatever reason you're refusing to talk. Maybe if I help you, you'll help me. All you're doing is annoying me, and I don't know your mother, and I didn't know your mother. You keep saying that, but I can see it on your face. He grimaces. You're helpless. I can't do anything to convince you. Just tell me what you know, and I'll leave. It's that simple. He says nothing. Okay. So now... the governor... There's a few different ways that I think this could happen. One is we talk to, like, Zadok. Perhaps right here, actually. Actually, I think this is exactly where I want this to be. You basically just have to talk to him, like, one more time. So this is going to be, I think this will be there. And then we're going to have, like, night, light, 6. Phone rings. So it's phone rings. Whatever the other person said. And he starts to argue. I won't do that. Okay, so he says I'm going. You'll say, where? And then, okay. So I should figure out some other places where you can do this as well. I know. I have a good idea. You can talk to Sadok, or you can talk to Oleander again. And so I should have, like, let's have, like, go to phase Nightlight for him. Oh, wait, no. And then what we'll have is next phase Nightlight here. That'll be right here. So we'll have like what do we have here? Probably journal note something or other. Yeah. Night, light, convinced, fail. Or like, let's say like it seems all I did was annoy Sadok. Okay. And then we're gonna have Nightlight Sadok annoyed. And so how this is going to be is player has follower Oleander. Let's do not state get stat. So basically, if we have not talked to Sadok yet, we'll do something here where like let's talk to Sadok. Otherwise, so you should be in his office on the north edge of town. Otherwise, want me to... Yep, this is my dialogue scripting system. And I have a lot of dialogue, so it's been super helpful to just be able to quickly write stuff up. Yeah, right now we're taking a guy, or a guy is helping us convince the, like, chief of police to let us into a cave that's still being investigated because we want to help investigate. Because we're the main character, so we get to do that. Let's see, did you want me to come with you to talk to Stock? And then let's do sure. Or, no, let's not. Okay, so main speaker, follow player. Oh wait, there we are. And then if we have done this before, look. Yeah, I've used a few different techniques before. I decided to go the extra effort of like making a like syntax for it, because I am familiar enough with Sublime Text that I could make syntax highlighting. So I made that first, and then I was like, well, this seems like it's going to be too useful to like not do now. Though it is pretty buggy. Basically, anytime I change anything, there winds up being bugs. Actually, I should close that for now. Let's see. So I think what's going to happen is he gets pocket beeps. They're saying the investigation is over. Did they go through the cave? Hmm. Hmm. I thought, hmm. So, I don't think he liked me since the moment he set eyes on me. So, was that during the arrest? Maybe he, suspect. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so I'm kind of doing like two things at the same time. Let's have this here, and I'm going to do note, Sadak. No, let's say night light investigation stopped. And this is going to be, what should it be, actually? State add stat. Let's do this instead. So that way, when we go to, what do I need to go to? Overview. Oh, yeah, and this is my playable storyboard. I should show this off, because the game is 3D, but I'm basically making it in like a point and click adventure style for the time being, because I was doing too much stuff at the same time. Going crazy with all the 3D gameplay that I was trying to make. But okay, let's do get stat and not state get stat night light slash investigation stopped. And eventually there'll be another stat that actually is true. And also, we're going to put this right here when this beeps. So stay where you are. Thanks, yeah. Yeah, I have like the very basic skeleton of the overall plot, for example, and I thought that would be enough that I could just then like elaborate on all the quest stuff while working in 3D, but it was just so much work and so easy to get distracted as well. That was the hard part. Because the writing can be pretty painful to get through, so it's much easier to like procrastinate with bug fixes and features and stuff like that. So that's why I downscaled to the 2D stuff for now. But okay, so now what's happening is the investigation was called off through like I guess some sort of text messaging or like group chat. I don't know how police would communicate information like that typically, but I think they're just going to do it through like smartphone apps. And then it beeps again. Wait, disregard the previous message. Investigation continues. Or the case is not. It beeps several more times. Let's just say the player asks what's happening. It looks like. And Premier Sadak don't and Premier Sadak doesn't. So how? Yeah. Some sort of like secure app communication channel. Especially in a relatively poor country like this one. I imagine they just use like a premium account for some off-the-shelf application. Yeah, so it looks like the governor thinks the case is done and Premier Sadak doesn't. So what questions could the player have? How could the case possibly be done? Or how could the... Yeah. We don't even know what's in the cave. So the governor no more than Sadak. And does that mean... Okay, let's see. So I don't know what's happening. But I trust Premiere. Let's say I trust the Premiere. Yeah, the Premier's judgment. It's a bit dramatic to say he trusts the his police chief over the governor. Figure this out. So let's say, who has the final say, and does that mean I can go into the cave? Let's see, do I have space for more information per dialogue line? I can do things like, I could do something like this. But actually, because of the way the dialogue evaluation works, there's sort of a quirk where it runs all of these like code blocks after a dialogue line up until the next one. I basically had to do that so that way it knows when the dialogue is going to end the next time you press A. So there is sort of an awkward syntax to it where I have to put like the emotion a character has after they say it. But for other things like conditions as to like when they say what, I can put that on, well, I guess I usually don't put it on the same line. Yeah, so I would say sometimes I put things on the same line, but usually no. And I may eventually figure out a syntax, like a way to differentiate between like control flow and effects of dialogue. And that way I can have more stuff on one line. I know what to do. I want the other guard to start leaving because he's like, well, the case is done. The governor said it's done. So yeah, let's have this guy have a conditional. This is going to be global stat. What will this be? No, state. Yeah, stat. I changed the syntax recently in a big refactor. But okay, so state get stat. Case closed, I guess. Let's say this. Oleander and he... Let's say he and Oleander talk for a bit, and then the guard leaves. And that'll be global stat. No. I keep forgetting. State add stat. Nightlight people leaving. And then you would do... where's he going? So the governor... Let's say this. The governor is officially above. So the governor ranks above Premier Sadak, so I guess he thinks the case is done. You know what? I can't think of like a way to skip that without having that. Okay, let's have this as a thing here now. So what I'm going to do is, otherwise, not state get stats. Let's do nightlight people leaving. Let's have here, what am I looking for? Quests, major quests, nightlight, part 2. When so like Sadak arguing with the governor in his office. So let's say, can you step in? Because basically, they're having an argument while we're here with Oleander. And I'm wondering if I should have the ability to, like, communicate between the two. Or basically the ability to, like, go over there and see the argument yourself playing out. Or if I should just not have that. But okay, let's have this now. So, Jackie, I think we need to investigate the cave. Works for me. If other people are leaving, probably not enough people. So, probably not enough peacekeepers. You were asking to find, or you were asking to help. So I think now. What would Jackie say here? I think I want something kind of funny. Like, things just fall into place for me, don't they? Actually, let's have this here of like a Otherwise, can you help me investigate the cave? Yes or no? Then let's go. And eventually I can add more dialogue. There's always more dialogue. I can add more things to flesh out. But okay, I don't think I can at the moment. Understand. You know what? Oh. Okay. So what we need now... Let's say, like, start investigation. Because what I'm going to do is have, like, a journal note, night light, cave, Oleander. Or, like, Oleander cave. And this will be... was officially by the governor to go into the cave with him. Inside. Okay, now what I can do is I'll have a enter start investigation. I can basically use this as a function call. And so that way all two of these places where I can do this... Oh wait, no. I can do it here then. Okay. And once we have that, we should now have state add stat night light cave access. And we should do next phase night light. And for now, I'll just put this as placeholder because it's almost 10 p.m., so I should probably call that for now. But let's make sure that this conversation actually works. Basically, we should be able to talk to Oleander because we tried to convince Sadak to let us help. He said no. We come back to here. He's here. He's like, hello. Oh, why is this... Oh, I see. Because I didn't have all of the stuff set up. Okay, so we'll basically need to... we'll have to do this again. That was quite helpful before. Okay. Okay, now we're doing this stuff. He should be gone now. But I'll forgive him for not being gone yet. Because we need to come back here. Oh, cannot find phase nightlight 1. Oh, because I put nightlight 2 twice. Okay, so now we can talk to him. Oh, thank you for the chat. Welcome to the stream. We're going to talk to Oleander. So, sorry, Jackie, I thought Sadak would make an exception. He doesn't seem to like me very much. I can tell. Did you do something to him? I don't think he liked me since the moment he set eyes on me. Was that during the arrest? Maybe he still thinks you're a suspect. A small device in his pocket beeps. He examines it. Oh, they're saying the investigation is over? I'm gonna make that a question. I think he knows that something's wrong right away. So, what? Did they go through the caves? I don't think so. It beeps again. Wait. Disregard the previous message. The case is not closed. It beeps several more times. What's happening? I don't know. It looks like the governor thinks the case is done and Premier Sadak doesn't. How could the case possibly be investigated? We don't even know what's in the cave. That's my thinking exactly. I don't know what's happening, but I trust the Premier's judgment. I'll call Sadak and ask. The other guard gets up to leave. Hey. He and Oleander talk for a bit, and then the guard leaves. Where's he going? The governor ranks above Premier Sadak. If the governor says the case is finished, then it is, officially. I'm going to put that in there. Jackie, I think we need to investigate the cave. What? Us? Now? Yes. If other people are leaving, there's probably not enough peacekeepers to find out what's in there. Yeah, let's do that. I have the cave too many times. You were asking to help, and I think Sadak would understand now. You know what? I'll help. Great. Let's go. And then, we have access to the deeper cave. But there is no deeper cave. Because I haven't made that yet. But now we have that. And so the next steps will be making the cave, making Oleander have comments, and then Sadak will, like, barge into the cave with you guys. And I think now he'll be more understanding, because he'll be like, well, one, thank you for trusting me over the governor, which is, like, quite a stretch, basically. But also, how dare you bring her along after I explicitly said, like, 100 times that she's not supposed to be involved in this stupid case. I didn't even have it. I didn't even need this little thing. Eventually we'll do more stuff. I think this quest is going to be more linear, though, because now it's going to be basically going through the cave, seeing weird stuff. And I think there's a lot of opportunity here. Because as I said, these machines, they can mimic people who, like, the target remembers. So we could get anybody from any of these people's previous, like, history and have them interacting with all these other characters. And I still don't exactly know what their plan is, though. I think that's our main goal now, is to figure out what are these what are these specters doing? Why were they luring people to the cave? Why do they have this ability? And why has this not been known before? But yeah, lots of ripe soil for the growing. All we need to do now is do the back-breaking labor of growing all the crops. But okay. Nightlight 2. Officially underway. And I'll have to make sure that because now that uses Git submodules, I'll have to make sure I push all of them. Alrighty. Well, that goes. I think I'll call that a day. Thanks everyone for stopping by. I'll be back Sunday for more, basically, of this. Yeah, have a good night. See you later.